What's up, everybody? This is Greg with Advantage One Brokers, and this is the ADV1 podcast. This is the podcast where we come to you each and every weekday with relevant topics and training, and we have guest speakers. And today, my guest speaker is none other than Miss Patrice Thompson herself. Patrice.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going well. I'm super excited for this one. just because both you and I were no bullshit. So we're just we just keep it real. So this is gonna be a wild conversation. Let's go. How you doing?
I'm honestly, I can't explain how much happier my life has been.
Yeah.
So much more relief, so much time that has been bought back in the short amount of time since making that decision. And I think it's bittersweet because I've made more money not working in the last 3 weeks than I have for the whole year, just because I'm not buying leads from my previous IMO and all my
practice company.
Yeah, my practice company. So all my back ends are coming. And then of course, because of the mass movement of I wouldn't call it recruiting. I would say saving people.
Yeah.
I've been on my phone, from
6:30
right? till midnight for literally the past 3 weeks. I thought it's only been 2 weeks. Yeah. And it's been a month since the move. And I've been working between, every time I get off the phone, I'm trying to dial and book appointments. But the cool part is I book the people that answer the phone
right away, right?
I'm able to squeeze it in. And I think that's so nuts that I've been spending 90% of my time on the phone and 1% of my time actually in the field. And I've made more money in that small amount of time than I have ever, which is so wild to me when I feel like I'm not working. And that's insane. And I don't know. It's just really interesting.
The leads really are game changing. It's
magical.
Unbelievable.
I was dialing the other day and I had a mini panic attack. I was like, who? Because I'm expecting to get cussed at, yelled at, or be just sitting on the phone for hours.
For an hour before someone picks up. Oh, that's the worst.
It's just I was on dial teams and it was getting embarrassing. People are looking up to oh, it's Patrice, insurance lady Patrice. And then they're seeing me not having success. How does that, I had to get up out of there. I was like, look, I need to not be on the dial team anymore because I'm getting depressed. I'm not making money anymore. And the leads aren't working and I'm putting money in and not getting anything back. The last set of leads I bought, I threw $700 into the system and I didn't even get so much as a phone pickup. I had my admin put my leads in order so I can go door knocking because, right, we resolve all our leads. That's what we're supposed to do.
Yeah.
She put them in order starting from my house and put it in a circle so I can end up back at home. I went to 50 houses. Half of them were bad addresses.
Yep.
How can I resolve the lead if all the information is incorrect?
And nobody answers.
That doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
And now you got people out there on foot wasting gas, wear and tear in their car, their mental status, trying to do these things that we're preaching oh, if this doesn't work, do this.
Yeah.
But at some point that something's got to give.
And if you say that to anybody above you,
absolutely.
They're just buy more leads.
Dude, first of all, I have to applaud
why would I buy more of this garbage?
I have to applaud you for even coming out and saying something because, with my team, I did not trust my uplines. I have seen things happen in this business. I've had things happen to me in this business. There are things I've never shared because of politics. I was left many times because shoot, can we bleep that?
I'm going to bleep that out. That's all right.
I'm trying not to. Please bleep.
What that bleep said is practice company.
I want to practice company right over it. But I have left back and forth because even in the beginning, I saw the inconsistencies because I realized at some point the operating cost was going to be too high. And there were times I had uplines that did not support me the way I needed to. I was put on someone's team to help them grow. And instead of me being able to grow as a leader myself, that person wanted to micromanage me, micromanage my team, have me show up to do all these things that I didn't think was necessary if I'm independent. If I don't want to come to office, that should be respected. If I don't want to do this, that should be respected. I should not be taunted or gambled at like, oh, well, this person came, they made this much money. I was like, okay, they made like $80 more than me. Well, that's $80 more. Okay, and I don't care. Like, I'm not in competition with nobody but myself. And so all that team that I built, I had about 30 agents at the time. Everybody was gone in a month because she started talking crap about me to the agents, started pitting us against each other, telling them I only wanted to make money off them when I'm taking phone calls to midnight. I mean, I got agents rolling up to my house saying, can we please go over some scenarios? Like, I go above and beyond for my team and offer support. And then to be told other things to them so they can grab that team and, you know, take my platform and everything I built up for themselves because they couldn't have it. How can you feel safe to grow a team? So when that happened, that's when I left my practice company, and I would rather drive 100 miles to LA every weekend and sleep in my car away from my kids, sleeping on the beach, taking showers at 24-hour fitness, driving for 18 hours than be there. The only reason why I came back is because COVID and the rides wasn't there. And I needed to do something that I knew I could go with. So when I came back, they said, hey, we know you don't want to do this and that. We respect that, whatever, that's fine. So I didn't want to come to the office. I didn't want to do this. And I didn't want them talking to my team because personally, I thought the people above me they didn't represent leadership to me because one, they weren't selling, or they weren't, and they were preaching things that they weren't doing themselves. So what could you honestly tell somebody in my downline? Is you gonna motivate them? They can go on YouTube and buy a 5-minute video. Like, you don't need to talk to them. And I also didn't want my team being integrated with the politics, like selling certain products, you know, using certain types of leads. Like when my agents went around talking to other agencies, they were just like, your upline doesn't make you sell a company. And they're like, no, she just tells us to do what's best for the clients. Because that's what you're supposed to do. When we got our life insurance license, we said we will do what's best for the client and not our pocketbooks. So me selling something that's going to give me an 8% bonus, even though that product's like $30 to $80 more than I can get them, what does that really say about me and what I value? Because I grew up poor. I would never say like the rappers where I grew up poor eating noodles. I was taken care of. My belly was fed, nothing. I just recognized when I'm older that we did not have everything. And this is why mom said no to extra stuff. So when I sit down with my clients, I ask them too, when they want their payment to come out. I don't try to make them draft right then and there. I go, when do you want this to come out so you know how broke you are for the rest of the month? Obviously, I built that rapport to make that comment, and they laugh because I get it and I understand. And then I understand when families die, that money is important. So why would I sell you a $30,000 policy when I can get you a $40,000 one and probably save you $20? I think helping people is my passion, and money is just the bonus. It's going to come. And when you do those kind of taxes, it bites you in the butt. I can't tell you how many people I've talked to since moving that have $10, $13, $15,000 plus in that company and chargebacks because someone came behind them and rewrote them and got them some better coverage and 10 times the income, because that's what matters when these families, when they lose their loved ones, not only are they're losing income. They might have been the main provider. So it's like, if I can get them 40,000 and they choose to do a cremation and only spend about 5 to 10 grand, that's 30 grand in their pocket. They can figure out what to do next, buy a little bit of time to mourn and move on. So, you know, when I started, you know, seeing these things that happen, it made me feel like I couldn't tell, because obviously I'm very close friends with some of the people at the top. And I was there when they left a previous practice company to start this, to start our previous practice company. And, you know, I was asked, Patrice, do you want money or friends? And obviously I'm going to say, you know, money. I want to take care of my family. I have 2 kids. My kids are my friends. But I can't tell if they lost sight of the vision of taking care of the agents, or was it a Trojan horse to be where they are now, to be rich and making money off of the agents. Because to me, they're acting exactly like boy from the last company. They're pulling
exactly like it.
Exactly to a T. And then they try to lie to me about it. I'm like, who are you BSing? I'm not stupid. Like be realistic with yourself. And then I'm watching, you know, I'm watching so many negative things happen, whether it's, you know, the agents are having lack of support from their uplines. Their uplines will cuss them out or ridicule them if they don't sell a certain product so they can get their bonus, or agents are only being contracted with certain carriers so that they can get their bonus when they sell. I have agents who have told me that their upline says, if you do not sell this product, try this first. Even if the client doesn't qualify, they're like, who cares? Submit it. That's wrong. And then they're ended up spending 2 or 3 hours or losing a sell because now they're pivoting. And then obviously the price is going to be real different and cheap. And they're like, well, why didn't you show me that one first? Yeah. That's weird. Get out of my house.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, they're not getting the proper training. They're being told, call me in every house. You don't sell nothing until you talk to me. What the hell is that?
And then they call them, they say, do Eagle.
Yeah, exactly. No advice whatsoever. And you know, there's just like no support, and there's no tools to help them with that support. Like nothing's set up so you can at least give them something to work with. Because to me, we're independent, and that's how it's supposed to be. When you call and talk to me, I'm either finalizing a thought you already had, or I'm mentoring. We're talking about, you know, direction with your team, how to help you grow. That's the only conversation we should have. Not you going, oh my God, Patrice, I've spent $1,900 on leads. How are these top producers doing 30 appointments a week? And I can't with good conscience lie to somebody. I can't. Well, that's why I always directed them to go, hey, get the $3 and $4 ones. You'll get more for your money, bang for your buck, in the same return, and they're not beat up as much. Do not buy these ones. If you do, I already told you, because I'm the type, I'll go touch the stove to make sure it's hot and tell you don't go touch it. I touch it, it's hot, you're gonna burn your hand. If you burn your hand, that's on you, because I tried to tell you. You didn't listen. I'm not gonna lead you down the wrong way. I will have no benefit in gain, because if you win, I win. And I need you to be set up for success. So I'm not gonna put you in a position of failure. And then on top of that, I'm seeing, you know, among all these things, like I think we've talked before, it's like there was nothing better. It was like they're like an abusive boyfriend.
Yeah.
There's nothing better. And I've had experience with both. So it's like nothing was better. So you kept going back. But then this company comes around. And when I saw your video, and it's funny because I got the call that was like, hey, block Greg. I ain't blocking nobody. I'm grown as hell. Patrice gonna do what I might be like, yeah, okay, click. I'm about to find out. Because there's been several people who have left the business, but it was only for them. And then when I saw you do the video, I watched it, because at first I was like, he lying, woo ain't. And then I was communicating with some people, and then it kind of opened up conversations that we're not having out loud. We were having it behind closed doors, but not out loud and not together, to push this thing going. And so even when you admitted to participating in the behavior, you really had no choice, right? Because there was nothing else you could tell them.
Yeah.
Because what other lead sources were there available, which wasn't going to cost them money and guarantee them a success? So all you could tell them was buy more leads, even though that you knew that wasn't the solution. So for me to see you come out with that honesty, that was like, he's spitting, like he's really telling the truth, and he's saying the things that we have been saying all along out loud. And what he's doing is not only benefiting him, because you're offering a solution. You're not just saying, hey, let's go to this other company and try it. You're going, no, I've tried it out. I've seen the books. I have the proof. I got the receipts. That's all. I like that. To me, that was like, okay. And I was talking to my boy, and he's like, hey, just reach out to him and see what happens. So even when we got on the phone, he was like, Patrice, I know who you are. And
what up, girl?
If you're a little rat, you can bump. And I was just like, bro, look, I'm only loyal to Patrice and no one else. Like, I'm not a follower whatsoever. Like, I'm really reaching out to you because I care about what's happening to my agents. You know, once we got that down, you know, we really got funky, but yeah. I just thought it was so nuts to me, even seeing what was happening in the field. Like they keep talking about this deal. Honestly, it's the deal with the devil, in my opinion, because I've seen teams get taken from people who could have utilized those overrides for their family, because they tell us, go out there, hire, recruit, grow your team. But if you find something they like, oh, no.
We're going to move them. We're going to move them over here. We're going to move them over here.
We're going to take them here. This is ours. And then they benefit. Yeah. And you're just sitting here like, that's wrong. And then the people I talk to and communicate who are part of that happening, and it got taken from them as well, but they're getting a VP bonus or a credit. They're like, well, I'm okay. I'm like, well, what about that person? What are they getting? They're like, nothing. And I said, it's fucking wrong. It's wrong, bro. Yeah. How can you stand for that?
It's fucking evil is what it is.
And then you really think about the grand scheme of things, how attainable is that deal if that's what it takes to get it? That means I can't get it. Mm-hmm. So I don't feel safe growing a team. I don't have the confidence in the leadership above me to make sure my team is going to be taken care of. You can give me discounts and leads all day, but if them leads are being resold to other IMOs
and same agents.
Same agents.
I had an
How
agent.
am I going to win?
I had an agent.
Keep your funky leads. I don't want them leads.
Had an agent by an instant. The day it hit. He was on the CRM, instant hit. He's like, boom, bought it, called it. Going through his phone script, and the person stopped him about 10 seconds and was like, hey, are you with Practice Company? And he was like, yeah. He's like, yeah. She was like, yeah. 3 days ago, they called me about a week ago, something like 3 days ago, and they got me this. And he was like, oh, well, why didn't they get you this? And then they had a conversation. He ended up selling her over the phone, but he replaced a policy from somebody in the same company. And that's what's happening. And then you wonder why all your business is getting replaced.
It becomes an addiction. Like buying the leads becomes like gambling because you're like, it's in there. You're going for it. It's like we're piranhas for leads. You got uplines finding out that their agents are having success in the area, and then they'll go work that area and not tell the agent, but then ridicule them if they're not successful. Because they're hurting too. So the hurt just keeps getting reciprocated over and over and over again. There is no solution. And you got agents taking appointments. I have agents on my team who I had one particular girl working with a lady. She didn't qualify for a certain product until she turned like 50 or whatever, because of the guaranteed issue. I think she needed to turn 40 or 50. One of them, that was the reason why we waited. So she finally turned 50. She had the application ready to sell this woman. She booked an appointment and then had to reschedule, called her back again. And then the lady goes, hey, don't worry about coming. Your other agent friend came. And she's like, what agent friend? She goes, he came to the door and was like, oh, she sent me. Knowing it was another agent from the same company, and wrote that policy. And mind you, that producer that did that is like a 50K producer. You are making money, but you're going to take money from somebody else so you can, submit your numbers. That's so crazy to me.
I've heard some horror stories about some of the quote unquote top producers over there that are doing stuff like shady stuff like that, like just taking appointments from people and like just barging in homes and forcing massive policies. And but they're applauded and put on a pedestal because
absolutely
they buy into the Kool-Aid.
It's like nothing you see is real. They're lying on podcasts. They're being coached to lie about how much they're spending on leads or how they're doing what they're doing. So you got people watching your podcast thinking, okay, something's wrong with me because this person's a single parent, or they're this and they're that, and they're writing 50, 60, 100K a month. How are they doing this? And then you have to realize they're not doing what they said they're doing. They're not using those leads. Nope. They have a special type of leads that only certain people get. They're using a dialer, because you start asking them questions, they ain't got no answers. Yep. And that's why I tell people, I'm like, listen, when you watched my podcast, I didn't lie. I didn't have time to lie. I said, they didn't ask me about leads. They didn't ask me about companies because I don't play that shit. We just had a conversation at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So it was just me talking about my success. But I would say things that I omitted was probably having bad leadership. I didn't say that like, hey, I left the company before and came back and was able to get under a new upline because I asked for a new upline before and they were like, nah, make it work. I'm like, I can't work for someone that sees me as an enemy. Move me. Like, I'm sick of this. Like, why you, and then you say there's no contract, but y'all want me to sign an NDA to leave. And then gonna lie to me. I'm like, I know y'all read the same thing. That says you own me. It is so broad that the right judge can interpret it however they want to.
Yeah.
It says, don't go there. You're like, where? There. And then you go there and now you're sued. That doesn't make sense to me. And I was like, they're like, oh, we just don't want you to roll up debt. We just don't want you to remove your clients from the policies they have. I'm like, if I'm I said, first of all, I would never roll up debt. Patrice gonna take care of her stuff.
Yeah.
I'm never gonna do that. And I'll make sure it's handled. So if you don't want me to do that, then say that and delete paragraphs 2 through 4 and let me go, or we're gonna have a problem. Like, why are you not letting me go? I'm not understanding. And then I'm getting text messages because minions are being sent to me about, Patrice, come back. we'll give you 10K and we'll pay for your leads. We'll pay you $2,600 a month. I'm like, okay, that fixes Patrice's problem. What about my team?
What about all the agents? Because you can't
and that's what I'm saying.
You can't
and then
bring
they're like,
everybody.
Okay, we'll pay for your team. We'll give you guys a whole mail house. Okay, that's great. What about the whole damn company? What y'all are doing is wrong. I'm not going to play for it no more. Even if it's ruining my credibility, what I've been through, whatever, who I am as a person, you know, I'm okay with that because I'm doing the right thing and I'm going to be saving people. And I'm not going to play. And then I find out they're offering people who are mediocre and don't even have a team, offer them 50,000. So I'm glad I said no out of good conscience. But to find out you offering somebody else 50 grand, that's an insult. Like, I don't know if you know that Drake song that where he's like, he goes, 10,000 on my name is disrespect. Like, that's how I feel. Like, so upset. I had to double check. Like, you offered him 50K, but I'm not going to come back. But that's how you value me. That's how you see me. But y'all use my podcast and my video and others like me to hire and recruit because I am a woman. I'm a Black woman. I'm a single mother. I'm a mom. So those are a lot of platforms that's marketable. Yeah. And let's not forget, I'm a pretty girl. Like, that goes a long way, and we know it. Like, let's be realistic.
Let's be real.
You know, and just I'm real. I keep it 100. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to tell you the truth because I don't have the time. I don't have the energy. I got stuff to do, and so do you. You have a family to take care of, and that's what I want. And it's like, so for my influence to be utilized to get people hired, and then they weren't being stacked under my team, that didn't make sense. So if you, my friend, why am I not getting put on? Why am I not getting people stacked under my team? Why do you guys deem who you decide is successful and not the people that are actually motivating people? I've had people reach out to me going, hey, I thought I would be working for you, but I'm being put over here because they said that's just how it worked. No, it don't. Mm-hmm. If you want to work with me, that's how it's supposed to be.
You're independent.
Because there was something you saw in me that you were going to get support for, or an understanding for where you felt safe and taken care of. Yeah. And again, I always say, if someone didn't want to be on my team, where do you want me to sign? Because you've already decided in your head that I was not going to be the support for you. And what I have wasn't going to work. So I'm not going to spend my time trying to make you happy. Please go. Yeah. But that's not what we're seeing on this end, what's been preached on thousands of videos, that if you want to leave, go. I made a business decision. They keep calling it emotional and grass and green. This ain't a relationship. Yeah. Okay, so if I was selling a hot dog stand and I can get my hot dog buns cheaper by 30 cents a package, I'm going to save money and millions of dollars on the back end. So I'm just reallocating where I'm doing my business at so that I can make more money, increase my profit margins, and lower my expenses. That's not a bad thing to do. No. I don't see how that's a bad thing. And then you got the block parties, people unfriending you because they don't want to see your success. That's so weird to me. That's so culty. That is such a cult mentality that you're being told to unfriend me. Obviously, people are like, oh, have you lost friends? I said, I didn't lose friends. I found out who weren't my friend, period. Yeah. And they're going to sit there and lie to me.
I actually gained more people following me.
Honestly, yes. More people. All plasticity is good plasticity. I was like, yes, like publicity. I'm like talking with my tongue.
So man, you just leashed out. You're spitting straight hot fire. So
I don't play around. I'm not the one. Like I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. Yeah. And I refuse to answer their phone calls. They be texting all day. I'm not talking to you. I said what I said. Yeah. Period.
And that's how it is. That's how it is.
I had one person reach out to me and go, hey, I heard you left. You're going to be successful wherever you go. I wish you the best. That's how it should have been to begin with.
I will say that I had somebody very high up reach out to me and say, hey, and text me personally. And he's super high up. And he was like, hey, man, I saw you left. Good luck, man. I just want to wish you the best. Like, you're a good dude. And I was like, man, you are friggin' awesome for doing that. And I really appreciate it. And you know, to some of your points, the whole like, oh, we'll offer you to get higher comp, we'll pay you back, we'll buy your leads. What does that say to all the agents that did that were loyal to them, that stayed?
Exactly.
What does that say to them? Like, oh, so because that person left because they didn't believe in the system and they didn't like what they were doing, what you guys were doing here, you're now going to offer them to get free leads for life and raise them to a 125, 130 comp when they don't even have a team. And I've been here. Saying.
Ask yourself with the people who went back. Yeah. Why did you leave in the first place? Yeah. And what brought you back? So obviously you're motivated by money. You're not helping and selling policies because you care about people. And that's fine. You don't have to like this, but you didn't leave for the right reasons. You left for money and power. That's what you wanted. And then you didn't get that over here. So even those people who went back, and yes, I'm talking to all y'all who went back, you're fake and you're wrong. Because what you're doing is you are literally participating in what's keeping people broke. I have had people reach out to me and tell me they are worse off than they started, and they're driving Uber Eats now.
Yeah, I've had so many people that are getting a secondary job. Like, I'm getting another job to pay for more leads to really get this thing off. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
What?
I know people who are in credit debt up to their eyeballs, but they got them training. What you training them on? How to be in debt? Yeah. Like, be on, like, you, and I'm seeing the pictures of the meeting, and like, you can look at them, and I'm like, they look frumpy, and I'm like, is that what lying does? Lying to yourself, you become like, all the youth leaves your face. Yeah. Like, why? Like, what are you gonna gain from that? And then I got people who are reaching out that are scared. Yeah. They're just like, hey, no one's going to know, right? This is DL, right? That's sad.
That's sad.
That
they're afraid of
risking their contracts being terminated. Yeah. And their back ends being taken from them, their team, their livelihoods will be taken from them because they want to do something better for their family, which was promoted by our CEO. And he's not doing what he says. He says he doesn't like drama. This is drama to me.
Yeah.
This is
and this is all created. This is literally all created by them.
Absolutely.
This entire 100%. Situation, but that's neither here nor there. To your first point that you made, I will say I feel more fulfilled in these past 4 weeks. I wake up in the morning and I'm taking calls usually by 7 a.m. and I'm on the phone until 10, 11, sometimes midnight. And I came up for breath for like 5 minutes to like get some water, use the bathroom. Sometimes use the bathroom on the phone. I don't care. Like, eat. I'm eating on the phone sometimes. But I've been so consistently busy, but I don't feel like I'm working because I really do. Like, I get so much joy. I was on Zoom yesterday. I don't know if you were on the Zoom podcast that we did for the Thursday training, but I was on.
I went to sleep.
Yeah, so I was on Zoom. I started at 5 with my managers. We rolled into the training at 5:30. We did that that went on for an hour and a half. And then someone had asked me, they were like, hey, I want to practice mortgage protection over Zoom with you. So I was like, let's do this. And I opened it at the end of the training, like, hey, we're going to do mortgage protection over Zoom. It's going to be a live training. Whoever wants to stay can stay. Like 130 people stayed and just watched me do this. And like, I did that for 2 hours that I stayed on Zoom, and that I literally broke down. This is what I say, and here's the psychology behind it. This is why I say these things, and this is what it does to the client. This is how they respond when they respond. These are the different ways they respond. This is how you are going to take. And I literally broke it down. And like I had so many people. I had so many people that were texting me afterwards. They were like, "That was the best training I like, legitimate training that I've ever been in. Like, you taught so much, and you gave us so much background, like carriers, what to do, how to do it." I had people like messaging me, people going on Facebook, all kinds of stuff. But like, I was talking to Lexi afterwards, and I was like, man, I feel so fulfilled. Like, I was on Zoom for 4 hours, and I don't care. Like, I was pumped. I was like at 100 afterwards. I was like, all right, what next? I was like taking calls. People were calling me, and I reached out to my team to the managers that came with me with the initial move. Kevin, Zach, Jeff, David. We're in a group text, and I was just like, hey guys, I just want to tell you, like, I love all you guys, and thank you for taking this journey with me and believing in me, because this has been life changing. This has been so amazing. Just being able to help these people.
Even for me, when we talked, I was like, I had to pray on it. I had to talk to God. I talked to my daddy from the other side. I was like, oh Lord, what should I do? But it was like, I was crying literal tears because I was so scared. And I was like, okay, I need to, I knew the answer, which is why I didn't get one. I was just like, it was very obvious what needed to be done. And just seeing the little successes that my agents have had since being here, the relief that people feel knowing they're gonna have leadership and support that's not gonna ridicule them and it's just seeing the at ease. And like, even people that they were they've come over because they had uplines that were ridiculing them, rejecting their calls, just horrible people. And like, I mean, I had a lady whose husband just had a stroke and she was trying to work from home and, you know, do Zoom cells, and they didn't want her doing that. They're like, you're not doing that.
Oh, but all of a sudden
Don't
we
call
got
me
all
if you
these
do that.
we got all these producers that have been doing it for the past year.
And like,
And they've done all
and
this.
that's what I'm saying.
We got the
just her energy was different. Exactly. Just her energy was different. I talked to her, you know, a couple of weeks ago, and she reached out. I said, can I just stop what you're asking me right now? She was asking me for tips for a policy she was writing. Like, what company go? I said, you sound so refreshed. Like almost as if you got into a new relationship and it's the first 90 days. Like you're so bubbly. And like, I know we still have a long road ahead. Like, you know, we need to get going and whatever. And she never got trained properly. So that's what I mean by the long road ahead. Like you're going to have some fumbles, but we're going to get you some sales. But it's like, just to know that her life has changed in just these few weeks of moving over. And when I tell people like who came over with me, I'm like, these people were either going to get a job next week or jump a bridge. And I literally mean that. Like, that's sad that that's what it was coming to for people. And I don't know, dude, it's just, it's a breath of fresh air to not feel so exhausted. I don't cringe at Monday anymore. I don't think about Dow days. I don't think about numbers. I'm sick of group texts. I'm just so sick of just all the BS, the block parties, and just all of it. I'm like, I just want to run my business and stop lying to people. Like, even when I'm posting, I'm seeing them post a meme that's supposed to be funny. But now I'm like, you guys are assholes. Yeah. Because you're lying to people. They'll be like, total profit loss. Okay, what lead source are they using? Can you identify that or not? Because the person they posted, I talked to that person and they are not using any leads from the company. They found their own source. Mm-hmm. So how come you can't come out and say, hey, they had this profit, but this is the source they're using. We can't, you know? And then even the people who were trying to tell me, hey, it seems like you're being responsive. I'm sorry, excuse me. Patrice is going to do what she's going to do. I'm not responding to no one. My posts are posts. Then they're the truth. So I'm trying to say, people, you're staying there, you're participating in what's going on because it's working for you. And then they'll post, oh, I'm getting better. Lead cost is down. Okay, did you tell them you paid $5,000 for someone to build you a funnel and you're doing an ad spend? Some people don't got that to try another avenue out. Yeah. You know, I had a woman that reached out to me just last night, was like, hey, are your posts about this new guy? It is. Okay. And I didn't sign an NDA for them to try to say it because they need to prove to me otherwise that it's not true. And until you can do that, you ain't got nothing. I mean, I was literally on a boat ride in Florida that I didn't want to be at all. I got to pay for a flight. I'm paying for my own flight to go there. Then you want me to tip the driver? You tip the driver. I don't care about all these politics. I just want to make money and go. And like, to me, it's like, what was the point of this? I'm not excited about a yacht. I'm excited about having my bills on auto pay. That excites me. I'm not materialistic whatsoever. You can't show me fancy cars or anything like that. Like, I don't care. And then even on that boat ride, CEO was talking about the lawsuit from the previous practice company of the person he literally became, and was like, yeah, it didn't hold up. The contract didn't hold up in court. Blah, 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 blah. They didn't offer me anything. Woo, wink. Oh, really? That's real different from what's happening today. You know, as of 9/17, I still have not been released. Yeah. And I'll be like, they might even cancel my contracts. And that's pretty damn sad if they do that, because that's my money, my time that I went out there in the field and sat with those families and, you know, got them and did the right things that need to be done to protect them. And you're going to take that from me so you can break my knees and keep me from defending myself because I want to speak out. I told everybody, I was like, I feel like they're Walmart. They're great, low price. Everybody's going to go all the time. There's some shady shit going on in the background. Of course.
There's a lot of weird people inside.
They lure you in with the end caps. Like, I know you saw that Walmart documentary. They lure you in with the end caps because you think there's going to be something better down the aisle. Yep. So you're like, ooh. But then there's companies like Amazon. They're innovative. They realize times are changing. And they look at what needs to be supported for the people and what our clients are going to be needing. So when they're developing and working on products, hey, they're working on a product to get people out of debt because our generation isn't dead. Why would I not sell a product that's like that? Yeah. You know, Why would I not create a support system to make sure my agents had the tools necessary to be successful so they don't have to feel like they're bugging their upline and calling them every 2 seconds? Why, like, I did something so simple with, so I had my admin, she created a PDF with all of the health, all of the carriers and health elements. So simple to do. But I gotta, before that, we just had multiple PDFs. Y'all make so much money. Why couldn't you create a universal, underwriting guide for us to see? You know what I mean? Y'all have enough money to do that. Yeah. There's so many things they have tools they have at their disposal to set people up, but it's happening in individual agencies and not across the board. There is no universal support, in my opinion, whatsoever.
Yeah.
And you couldn't contract with the carriers that you wanted because somebody wasn't going to get an override, or your upline wasn't contracted and their contracts were terminated. Things weren't happening. They're supposed to be so you can run your business as an independent person. That was not happening whatsoever. But now we're on to happy days.
Very happy days. I have an agent that came across, and it was him and his son that were over at Practice Company. And he's just a really straightforward. He was the one that would call the bullshit and would call things, and he would be like, "Hey man, these leads kind of suck." And he would do it he was like, "Dude, I just spent like X amount of dollars and these leads really suck." And the upline messaged him privately on Facebook Messenger, and he showed me the text. It was downright just derogatory the way she talked to him. And she was basically like, "Hey, you got a shitty attitude. Like, you got a shitty attitude and a shitty mindset, and that's why you suck. Your son is doing better than you. I don't need your negativity poisoning your son, XYZ." And it was long, just basically just tearing into him. And he was like, "Dude, this is when I lost complete respect for her. And this is when I was like, no, this is not the place for me." That's how people are talking. And she was basically like, and she did the whole classic, like, if you can go flip burgers at McDonald's. Oh, wow. Like, that's your way to motivate somebody? Really? Like, that's what you've been taught? That's not motivation. That's being insulting. And that's degrading. That's degrading people.
The peer pressure to participate in things like, work spots. Why? Yeah. I don't want to go to the office. I don't want to talk to nobody. Like I just feel like
there's no fees. There's no fees to be a part of us. There's no fees. No fees. Work spots.
Like I don't want to do it, and then you're kind of being forced to do it if you wanted the discounts. Now you're forcing my hand, and I didn't see the value in it if I don't want to go to the office and utilize that space because it's not near me. And obviously, because I'm a manager or upline, whatever, I'm supposed to have it so I can motivate my team to get it, but I don't even need it. Like, I don't want it. So why would I press somebody to do it? But I always tell my agents, if you want it, this is, so-and-so dollars a month. That way you can go to an office if that's what you choose to do. Yeah. And then, I know people that are like literally issue paying 40 grand, but they spent 40 grand.
Yeah.
Don't got no money to their name. Just out there hustling and running around in circles. They're in a rat race. They're in a trap. And I'm like, this is not right.
And they're so scared.
This is wrong.
They are so scared to make a change.
Yeah.
Because they're thinking of, man, what if my carriers aren't released and it takes forever to get leads there and this and that, and what if they block me, put me on as earned? Like, I can't even, like, I'm barely breaking even that I can't go in debt. And if they do this, like, it'll F me. And they're scared. And like, I've had so many conversations just like that, like literally hundreds, where they want to come over and they're so scared. And says, okay, well, we'll do this slowly. We'll do a couple of carriers. Keep doing what you're doing. Nothing's gonna, like, I don't tell anybody who comes across. And I don't even share it between us and the team, but no one's gonna know. And that, like, Bob's your uncle. So that if you're in that position, if you're listening to this and you're in that position, just know that there is help available. And we literally are just wanting to help you get into a better position so that you are profitable. And that's where we are. We're going to help you to be more profitable. You're going to spend less.
Absolutely.
You're going to make more, and you're going to have support. I've taken calls from agents literally at like 11, 12 o'clock at night just to practice phone scripts.
Yeah.
For telesales. And that's what I want to do. I love it. So you have people that are leaders here, like Patrice, that are going to do the same exact thing, that are going to pour into you. And she's still going to be able to go out and sell because she's probably spending 30 minutes, 30, 40
I
minutes a
think
week.
I've invested I've invested, right? I've invested $800 into leads at the new company so far at Advantage One Brokers. I haven't even received or called all of my leads. Like, that's just how busy I am. I have like 17 telemarketed leads I have not called. I have not received all of my mortgage protection. I've gotten like 4, and I've gotten some A leads that were an overflow in the CRM that I haven't even dialed yet, but I'm not worried because the quality is there. And then just with that investment, I've already issue paid over $5,000 in business. And I have a client I see on Monday that I sat with them. They wanted to think about it. That's fine. That's okay, because I'm not rushing. Then they called me and was like, hey, Patrice, we want to move forward. When are you available? No. When are you available? Okay. Because there's no rush. It's not a problem. It's not a problem. I'm going to get you that policy. So I sit with them on Monday, and that premium is going to be anywhere from $300 a month to $600, because I didn't ask which one they wanted to go with. I just know what I quoted them, and those were $300, $400, and $600 a month. So either way, just on the very low end of that $3,600 premium, you're looking at $8,000 at an $800 investment, and I still haven't called all my leads yet. No. And I'm taking calls from 6:30 a.m. to almost midnight. And here's not all the time, but yes.
It's not even the ROI, the return on ROI. It's how many appointments did you have to do to get that?
That was 4 appointments.
Yes.
That was literally
that's what I'm saying.
Appointments.
That you didn't do 30 appointments and then drive around for 30 and then 10 no-showed or 10 canceled or whatever, sit with 20, 10 of them don't have a bank account.
Yeah.
Automatically out. And out of the other 10 that can qualify, you sell 5, the other 5 are poor, and you're trying to really like force this one policy and put them in anything. Like you're not running around trying to get, you didn't, how much time did you spend to get that 8Ks? It's bananas.
Yeah. And like, so, even some of the people who are reaching out, like some are, kind of like, I'm doing well over here, but I also broke even in the same breath. Like, you don't have to up yourself. Like, you can be vulnerable with me. I'm not going to judge you. I get it. Yeah. I get it. Because we're so used to lying to ourselves. We want to like, hey, I'm just checking it out. But just be honest. I know you want to come, and I know you're scared, and that's okay. Like, and I know there's people that are afraid to reach out because they don't know and they're not sure because my posts are kind of petty and they're not really saying anything. And I'm kind of dancing around the idea because it's kind of like what I know, they don't want me to open my mouth and say. You don't want me to say. And there's things even, who was supposed to be my friend and I've known since I was 12, he doesn't know about his CEO. And if I open my mouth, we're going to have a problem. And you don't want that. And it's sad. And I don't want that. I want no drama. Let me go. That's why I'm like posting, let my babies go. Let my people go. I'm trying to take them to the promised land. Yeah. Like, I'm trying to give them a fighting chance. Let these people, it's unfortunate you can't come in with 6 figures or the right upline. You don't get, it's kind of like being born into life. You don't get to choose your parents. That's how it kind of is coming into that company. You don't get to choose your upline if you didn't know them in your warm market. So you're being pushed under someone who may not be the right support for you. They're not answering your calls. They're ignoring you. They don't even at least give you the tools. Like, all I can say is if anybody wants to reach out to me, first of all, respect my time. I'm very busy and I'm tired. Tired from just trying to help people. And it's a good tired to have. So I have a lot of people I have to get back to. So hit me up. I will respond. Understand whatever conversation we had, it never happened. If we're trying to be on the low, and that what I can do for you is I am the upline I didn't have. You'll have support. I'll answer my phone. All that I ask is like, hey, I created a guideline. Check that out. Learn how to assist clients yourself, because that's how the repetition is going to happen. Everybody got, whatever. And then if that's not there, okay, reach out to me. Hey, Patrice, underlying, it was a little gray area. My client's got this going on. What do you think? And then I can give you my best recommendation based on my experience. Otherwise, I go, I don't know. You might want to call the carrier on Monday or submit this carrier, and then we'll see what comes back and we'll pivot. You know what I mean? And like, even so, like, I can't get to everyone. I'm like, hey, if you're in the field, text me what time your appointments are. So I know when you call me, you're in the home and you need me. Mm-hmm. Like, I will be available to you in every capacity that I can. And I'm going to respect you. And I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm not going to tell you, no, invest $2,000. I'm going to say, nah, get a couple of these, do these. Like even here, taking the call, they were saying all you need is 10 mortgage protection to be fine. And I know that to be true because I did it before. I was getting 10 to 14, doing 25, 30K no matter what. But of course, after I hit my 53K, my leads were suppressed because it was COVID. Even though, people are refinancing their houses at 1%, I should have been dripping in leads and I wasn't, and that's okay. But, we're over here saying you don't need 20 because someone's like, can I get 20? You're like, calm down. It's not that serious because we're so used to trying to eat up everything that's there to be successful. It's like, no, just take a seat, get 10 mortgage protection leads. That's all you need.
I told you what I did. I'd go up to 15.
Yeah. If you're that desperate, because what is happening at the previous where people are locking out entire states and telling you, hey, buddy, go somewhere else. It ain't happening here. Like, and then, they're obviously promoting travel because that type of thing is being allowed. It's like, there's enough to go around and it doesn't have to be this way. There's a better way. And it took over 2,000 people leaving for you guys to try to make changes and start promoting Zoom calls and telemarketing. But it's something you built 5 seconds ago. It's not sound. It's not, worked through. It's not educated. It's just a bunch of people who were just talking crap about it the day before, now promoting it because, I don't know, they're getting butt kissing points or something like that. Yeah. Like, I don't give a damn about no fame and YouTube videos and all this other stuff. I give a damn about giving information and spreading that knowledge. Yep. And making sure everybody has it available. And I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to tell you what I've done. I'm going to tell you exactly how I did it so you can do it or not. Mm-hmm. At least you got the choice. And I was honest with you. So you can have an expectation. But when you lie to people and tell them, oh, if you do this, you should yield this, and they're not, and your only response is to buy more leads, that's wrong. And it is. Yep. Y'all make enough money to create a system that's better for the people. And that's why I was like, you know what? They're not going to change because they want me to come back. They want to buy me back to participate in the same system and not make it better. I'm going to go somewhere where we're going to do it right from the beginning. Yep. And we're going to make sure everybody has support. And we're going to make sure we keep coming up with ideas on how to support people. Because at the end of the day, if they win, we win. If they make more money, we'll make more money. Not that that's the goal, because I feel like Patrice is going to do 30, 40K no matter what or more. So I don't need my downlines to survive, but I do want you to survive. Mm-hmm. And I want you to make it and have an actual chance. And that's my truth. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Patrice, this has been, I knew this was going to be a good one. And I really, really appreciate you coming on board and just having a conversation with me. If anybody wanted to work with you, if they see this and they're like, man, that girl spits straight hot fire, how can they get in touch with you, Patrice?
Shoot me a messenger on Facebook. That's fine. Shoot me a text. My number is 760-682-8824. I'll probably ask to FaceTime you or something like that so I can make sure you're not with the feds. That's just me, because to me, in order for me to keep doing what I'm doing and saving people, as I say, I will protect you. And I'm not going to tell everybody who all came over because that's none of their business because you're independent. Yeah. But that's just to protect me so I can keep doing what I'm doing and reach out to people before the block party happens. Because honestly, if they're telling you to block me, you should be asking questions. Why?
Yeah, absolutely. You are 100% right. For all of you watching, thank you so much for participating in the AV1 podcast and taking part of this. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure that you go ahead and like the channel or subscribe to the channel and like the video. If you got any value from this, the fee is you share the video with somebody else that can get value. Okay, share the love, and that's how we.
Truth.
Yeah, that's how we can help save more and more agents. Hey guys, till next time, we'll see you.